with victories over Philadelphia and Dallas. Cowboys down big to the Buffalo Bills. The 49ers win the NFC West in back-to-back years for the first time since 2011, 2012.
Oh, baby! What is happening, Bay Area? Good morning to everybody out there. Get off their graveyard shift. Good morning to everybody out there who worked out there in the overnight dances club, the teachers, the cops, the students. Spinoni, Lubman, Big John to be in just a little bit as the Niners. They wear their hat and T-shirts after the game. They're NFC West champs for the second consecutive season. You heard from Iron Eagle right there on CBS, of course, alongside Charles Davis. Third time in 5 years they've won the NFC West Divisional Championship. And look, we're going to celebrate it to a point. But there's something I want to play from Drake Greenlaw a little bit later in the program about this Divisional Championship. Is this the first step of the journey to get back to Las Vegas and win the damn Super Bowl? But we're gonna enjoy this one, Spinoni.
It feels good, and you always, especially in football, you can't take divisions for granted, right? Like this division for a long time was owned by the Seahawks, and now it's the Niners. You had the Rams there for a little bit. You had the Cardinals with Stents, Carson Palmer, and stuff like that. It's the Niners division, though, Bonte.
It is,
and it's going to be like this for the foreseeable future because they got the quarterback, they got the running back, they got the head coach. I mean, I can go down the list. They got the linebacker, they got the wide receiver, you got they got everything. That was a dominating win against a division rival. And, Kyler Murray, he did some early things on. They looked great in those uniforms, I got to say.
McBride is a good tight end.
Trey McBride, second year out of Colorado State.
He's legit.
Go Rams.
He's legit.
But it's the 49ers division. Yeah. Kyle Shanahan, man, like this guy, say what you want about, his relationship with Jimmy, how he handled the Trey Lance situation, his synergy right now with Brock Purdy. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. They could have, and I was listening to the overtime, it was Evan Giddings doing a hell of a job alongside Sterling Bennett, and he was saying, you know what, if there was ever a time to have co-MVPs, McCaffrey and Brock Purdy, sensational 1-2 punch, man. Best in the league.
No doubt. We'll get into it all. McCaffrey now with 20 touchdowns on the season. He's 3 away from tying Jerry Rice's record when Jerry Rice had 23 touchdowns, but he did it in 12 games.
Yeah, that's
McCaffrey's going to get it in 17. There'll be a little asterisk, but it is not to take anything away from Christian McCaffrey's and Brock Purdy. But we're going to get into it all here on the Monster Monday, brought to you by First 5 California. To learn 4 things you could do to overcome toxic stress, go to first5california.com. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to Twitch. We love all you out there on YouTube and Twitch. And, of course, the Comcast Business Text Line. We're going to take all your phone calls. 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. Joe Spadoni in for Joe Shasky, the butcher. Everything's good with Joe Shasky. No need to worry. He's all good in the hood. He's taking some time off, and it's all good with him. But he's feeling good.
What else?
Niner fans are feeling good. Drive safely. That's right. Good morning, everybody out there on the roadways. It is nasty. No need to speed. Drive 50, drive 45 miles an hour, get to where you need to get to. No need to rush and try to get into an accident.
Your mentals are fine today. You're chilling on the roadways. Niners just won the NFC West. They're stacked. You see what the Cowboys did yesterday? Hell to what the Niners did. I'm laughing at the Cowboys' misery after they wet the bed against the Buffalo Bills. Dak Prescott MVP, my ass, Bonte.
Spinoni,
get out of here with that.
We'll get, if people want to talk MVP, that's fine. I personally, you know how I feel about it.
No,
you can name McCaffrey the MVP, you can name Brock Purdy the MVP. Maybe Trent Williams is an MVP. I have no idea, but you know what?
I know it's Brock.
You know what? But that's a good problem to have when you have all these guys as candidates for MVP. Now, obviously, the quarterback's going to get the award. It's a quarterback league. He's got the ball in his hands every single game. But he's a quarterback of a football team, Joe Spadoni, that is now averaging 30.4 points a game. 30.4 points per game.
Okay.
All right?
It's a lot.
It's a lot as they're 11-3.
It's a lot of points.
Devin lost after the bye week.
God.
I mean, we're going to get into some numbers here that are just nasty. They dropped 45 on the Cardinals yesterday. And there was a scare with Brock Purdy in the second quarter. We get all that.
Stinger.
A little stinger. He got popped. But you know what? He came back and propped George Kittle on that drive. He hit Christian McCaffrey for a touchdown on that drive. Overall, Brock Purdy. And we could get the quarterback ratings, 135.3. How about the 4 touchdown passes? How about throwing 242 yards. How about Chris McCaffrey going 18 carries, 115 on the ground for a touchdown? How about another 5 catches for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns? How about Deebo Samuel being wide open and he receives 2 touchdowns? We got numbers galore with this offense. George Kittle's going to go for over 1,000 yards over the next 3 games. Deebo Samuel might get there. He just might get there. And he's going to need over 200 yards over the next 3 games. It's very possible. But the offense, Spadoni, for the first time under Kyle Shanahan, and I've been waiting on this.
Uh-oh.
The offense carrying the defense. Because I thought the defense, they missed Eric Armstead and Javon Hargrave yesterday. Arizona was able to run the ball 30 times for 234 yards. They got gashed up and there. And that worries me a little bit against Baltimore up the middle if those big guys can't go. Ken Law's got to be better against the run as he got more snaps yesterday. So the defense was a little lackadaisical at times in that first half yesterday. He looked a step slow. Fred Warner even missed some tackles yesterday for the 49ers. But this offense, boy, who's going to stop them? You have to come into the game, to even be in the game against the 49ers, you've got to score at least 28.
They don't have a weakness. And if you want to say it's the offensive line right now, okay. Against the Eagles a couple weeks ago, Bonte, first quarter, that was the time. If there was ever going to be, a letdown, and the defense picked them up, 6 points.
Yep.
So it was 6-0 after 1, and then what happened? Then the offense got clicking. Brock started converting some third downs. And then once this train starts moving, you can't stop it.
No, you can't.
This 49ers offense is a machine right now. And no one's stopping it. Not Deebo, not George Kittle, not Ayuk with his route running. By the way, Deebo Samuel, that might have been Brock's best throw of the year, the back shoulder throw in the corner, and a great catch and adjustment by Deebo Samuel also. It was unbelievable both ends. And we like to think of Deebo as this, he's not the polished route runner.
Well, I don't know what people are watching.
I don't know what they're watching either because this guy's been unbelievable. As you said, this guy can have 1,000 yards alongside George Kittle, alongside Brandon Ayuk. It's a 3-headed monster right now, and I dare you to chop off one of their heads. It's like Hercules. Ever seen Hercules, Bonte?
Oh, yeah,
where they chop off one of the heads, and then another one just sprouts?
It's a little graphic.
It's all right. No, we're talking about the Disney.
Don't watch it.
The Disney one. It's all right. The Disney Hercules. No,
I haven't watched the Disney one yet.
No, but there's this, I forget what the animal is. It's like a Hydra or something, but they cut off the head, and then it keeps growing more heads. That's the Niners offense. You can't stop one of them, man.
That's a nice little analogy there. Deebo Samuel in his last 5 games.
And Disney
25 catches, 450. Listen to this. 5 games, last 5 games for Deebo Samuel. 25 catches, 455 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns receiving, and 3 rushing touchdowns. That's 8 touchdowns in the last 5 games. Overpaid my ass. Deebo Samuel's balling right now, and this offense overall is clicking. Since the bye week when they lost 3 in a row. It came back, and we were talking about the Jacksonville game, and boy, how are they going to beat Trevor Lawrence? The Jags are hot. Well, they dropped 34 on them and beat them 34-3.
Jags got smoked last night, too.
They didn't get smoked.
Oh, my God.
But 34-3. 34-3 Niners over Jacksonville. Tampa Bay, 27-14. You go to Seattle on Thanksgiving night, you score 31, and you really didn't play well in the second half of that football game. No. You left some money on the table. Then you go to Philadelphia, you're scoring 6 straight possessions, you score 6 touchdowns. 42-19 there. You beat Seattle again, you drop 28 on them. And then yesterday against Arizona, against a divisional opponent. And yes, the all-white uniforms for Arizona was sweet, but you dropped 45 on Arizona. 45 points, and you didn't look back. So this offense, again, they're over 30 points a game. Brock Purdy, it's just really amazing what he's doing at the quarterback spot. It really is, Spinoni. He's playing better quarterback than anybody in the league, and it seems like we've been saying that for over the last month, especially since the bye week. And he's not slowing down. And he got the little scare there, but he's on time. He's accurate. You talked about the Deebo Samuel back shoulder throw, the throw to McCaffrey, rolling out to his left, throwing across his body to Chris McCaffrey, who makes a great adjustment, catches it, all hands, gets up, scores a touchdown. I mean, what else? This guy's throwing with anticipation, with feel, even on a little simple Ayuk play before he got popped out of the game and Darnold had to come in for a few snaps. Hits Ayuk on a key third down. On an out route, just over the outstretched arms of Antonio Helmet. Just the feel, the touch, the right speed on the ball. I mean, Brock Purdy, we've got something special out here, folks.
The greatest compliment I can give, or one of the greatest compliments I can give to a quarterback is on 3rd and long or 3rd and intermediate, I feel like he's going to get it every time. Like, I feel that way with Mahomes. I feel that way. Well, right now, Josh Allen, guy's playing unbelievable football. Buffalo Bills. I think I actually lit a fire under Josh Allen after he said he was a bum and trash. I think he was listening. So I lit a fire under him. Good for you, Josh. You're playing a lot better. But that's one of the great compliments I can give to an offense because it felt how many times,
Josh
Bonte?
There's 25 teams that would take Josh Allen right now. If Buffalo's starting to hum,
And the Niners aren't one of them. They got Brock Purdy.
Well,
all
they
right.
do,
but did you see what he did yesterday in those third downs? They were key because I saw what Kyler Murray did on the other side, the 4th and shorts, and then he obviously threw that pick 6 to Mooney Ward. Huge game for Ward, by the way. The guy's having an all-pro type of season there. And I didn't think it was going to be like that, Mooney Ward, heading into this year. And that signing, I never thought he had number one capabilities coming out of Kansas City. I thought Kansas City was like, all right, we'll be fine moving on. But man, was I wrong. And I used to call him Charmander Ward. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a Pokemon, a fire Pokemon, because he got burnt. He got burnt a lot.
A little after my time.
A little after your time, 96, 99.
Little after my teenage
That's all right,
years.
but I used to call him
I was already in high school by then.
But you know what? No, you know what? It's the opposite end. Now he's burning quarterbacks on the other end. But getting back to Brock Purdy, man, when I had Jimmy Garoppolo in third and intermediate, obvious passing situations on third down, I did not feel good, Bonte. I did not feel good. Later on in his tenure with the 49ers, I did not feel good. Early on, Jimmy was fine. But it got to a point where even Kyle Shanahan was afraid to let his quarterback loose. That's not the case now. It's not the case anymore. They're so balanced offensively that it's pick your poison. Hell, the Niners could run the ball on 3rd and 6 and 7. I feel like they might get it. I'm out of words to describe how good this offense has been this season.
Well, they've also never had weapons like this either.
That's a fact.
And look, I don't want to.
I'm not trashing Jimmy.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are. I think we need to enjoy it now.
Oh, absolutely.
We need to, look, we had some good times in 2019. We had some good times in 2021. We had some good times last season. But I'm ready to move on from all that. We know what Jimmy was. It is what it is. We moved on. It's time to move on from him. Because Super Bowl 54, I could look at Shanahan and say, hey, you didn't coach your best game. You didn't trust the quarterback. Then why did he throw the last four downs of that Super Bowl when you had the ball at midfield with a minute 49 left? But we moved on. What Brock is doing, 4-7 on third down. Look at the average yards per play for this offense, Benoni. They average 7.5 yards per play. This is like high school football for them. 7.5 yards per play, 5.5 yards rushing on the ground, and then the passing game is at an all-time high. So, Chicago and Jason on YouTube, he asked a great question. Do the Niners have a number one option? Or is it the best collection of offensive talent in the NFL? IU can be a number one option. George Kittle can be a number one option. But it's something we discussed all season long, Spinoni, where it's a pick your poison type of offense. 1 week it's going to be Ayuk heavy, right? He's going to get all the targets, 8-9 targets. He'll go for over 100. And Kittle will be quiet. The next week, Kittle will go off, and Debo's quiet. The next week, Debo's going off, and Ayuk's quiet. You have to pick. You can't lock in on one guy. It's the beauty of this offense here. No. It's just like with the Warriors or Kevin Durant for so many years. Hey, you want to try to double Kevin Durant? Fine, Steph's wide open. You want to double Stephen Curry? Well, fine. Clay's going to be open on the wing, and KD's going to be able to play one-on-one basketball. He's one of the best one-on-one basketball players we've ever seen on the planet. So pick your poison with this offense. And then when you add the ultimate joystick, Spinoni, when you make the trade for Christian McCaffrey, and I love the trade.
Who's the one that called him the joystick? Who was that?
Cuban joystick?
Yeah, someone called him that.
I always call all these guys Cuban joysticks. It's been a name that goes around the guys who could do all things, run, receive, just make plays. But when you bring in a guy like that, and that's what Shanahan looked for in Jerick McKinnon. And Jerick McKinnon got hurt right before the first week of the season in 2018 against the Minnesota Vikings. Remember, he got hurt on that Saturday afternoon. But he looked at Jerick McKinnon like a guy who could run the ball and receive out of the backfield. He could do so many things with him. Well, that's what Christian McCaffrey is. And Christian McCaffrey is the ultimate joystick. So now you get a running back who gets out of the backfield and makes plays. Now you really can't focus on Debo or Kittle or Ayuk. And Brock Purdy just had to sit back there, and I want to hear the excuses, well, he has all this talent. All the great quarterbacks have great talent. That's what it is. You need great talent to win. Just like coaches in the NBA. They need superstars to win.
Yes.
There's no crime in that. No. Brock Purdy's taking advantage of the situation.
Give the quarterback credit. Is it so hard to say this team is better with Brock Purdy? Yep. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. Just watch the game.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to watch the game, fine. Look at the stats. He's number one in damn near every quarterback stat. Is that good enough for you? What's it going to be? What's the goalpost moving now for Brock? I'm tired of it. They do, as you said, Bonta, they have the best collection of talent on offense. It's not even close to me right now. They do. If you want to go to other teams, you want to say, oh, I don't know, that maybe I'm taking Godwin or Evans. Great. I'm taking Purdy over. I'm taking him over Maker Bayfield, as Lowe says.
Right.
I'm taking George Kittle over every single other tight end in football right now. And Brandon Ayuk, as you said, could be a 1 on another team.
Yep.
Hell, he's a 1 on this team right now, but he's a 1A sometimes. He's a 1B sometimes. And you know what? Niner fans don't care.
We don't care.
We just want to win a damn Super Bowl.
I know I don't care. I don't care. And that's what it's about. And Drake Greenlaw, we're going to play some sound for Drake Greenlaw a little bit later. We got a lot of sound.
Dude, you seen Suplex City again? Rondale Moore yesterday.
Absolutely. But Drake Greenlaw, and there's going to be some Niner fans that says this, but NFC West champs, hat and T-shirt game, and we're going to get to the calls, 888-957-9570. But Drake Greenlaw mentioned after the game, he said, I'm tired of wearing this T-shirt. Now, we're not going to spoil the party about winning a division championship. Because this back-to-back division championships, that's the first step to getting back to the playoffs, and that's the first step to getting to the Super Bowl. But Drake Greenlaw did say, and in the back of all our minds, it is Super Bowl or bust, especially with this team. This is the best offense, Kyle Shanahan. I think this offense is better than the offense he had in Atlanta with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu, Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, Austin Hooper. I think this offense is better.
Oh, yeah.
So it will be disappointing if they don't win the Super Bowl. But we'll get there when we get there. Right now, they control their own destiny for home field advantage. And if the Eagles lose tonight, all of a sudden that Baltimore game, it's a huge one.
Jalen's sick.
But you have some wiggle room if Philadelphia loses tonight in Seattle.